Okay, everybody ready? One thing that excites me about the Shaping Our Appalachian Region initiative is its energy and its momentum. From the moment we unveiled SOAR, we've been proving time and again that if we work together, we can make things happen, despite the hurdles we face. For example, some skeptics keep suggesting that economic development is impossible in eastern Kentucky. Well, they're wrong, and we're here today to prove them wrong once again. I'm here with Congressman Rogers, officials from the global animal nutrition company, Alltech, and the city of Pikeville, and numerous SOAR executive committee and working committee chairs to announce a new industrial project in Pike County. As many of you know, the city of Pikeville has been developing a new industrial site called Marion Branch, a 380-acre piece of land atop an old surface mine. Nicholasville-based Alltech plans to become the first occupant of this site. The company, represented here by co-founder Deidre Lyons, plans to invest in a brand new aquaculture and poultry layer facility. This combination fish farm and egg production facility will implement another of Alltech's sustainable and natural solutions designed to help farmers feed a rapidly growing world population. The city of Pikeville owns the site, which is less than 5 miles from downtown. To encourage development, the city has extended sewers to the site and has made other improvements. To assist with those efforts, today the state is announcing a significant new investment, up to $5.73 million from the Transportation Cabinet, to build an access road that will be wide enough to accommodate tractor trailers. That money will come from a cabinet fund that is specifically designed for industrial access roads. In addition, the Kentucky Highway Plan provides $8 million for construction of a bridge over the Levisa Fork, which will connect the access road and US 23. We believe these are good investments in the region and good investments for jobs for its people. And it represents further evidence of our belief that every part of SOAR, whether it's high-speed broadband expansion or the Hiring Our Miners Everyday Reemployment Project, requires collaboration between public and private partners, especially the local community. I want to thank everybody involved in SOAR and everybody involved in developing this industrial site, including our committee members, Alltech, the city of Pikeville, including Mayor Frank Justice, who you'll hear from in a moment, our Transportation Cabinet, our legislators, and especially Congressman Rogers. Congressman, we've been seeing so much of each other lately. I heard rumor of a ticket forming, but we'll leave that for another time and place. Let me give you Congressman Hal Rogers.
Governor, thank you very much. You're looking at the political odd couple here again. But what a great day. I want to congratulate the city of Pikeville and the governor and all of the people he's mentioned for this significant day for eastern Kentucky. You know, one of the main goals, I expect it's the main goal of SOAR, is job creation, is bringing jobs into eastern Kentucky to help replace those jobs we have been losing in the coal mining business. And this is an exciting chance for eastern Kentucky to show off that we can host all sorts of complicated, complex operations. And this is, as we will hear. So I want to congratulate the mayor and all that the governor has mentioned. We look forward to Mrs. Lyons' comments on this project that we're all excited about. You know, the first half of this year, Governor, has been, I think, a great one for the SOAR initiative, as you referred to it. We're moving forward with the broadband project, which I think will revolutionize eastern Kentucky, to bring high-speed, high-capacity internet to the communities of eastern Kentucky. We gained $1.3 million in investments just 2 weeks ago, an EDA grant for job creation, and $1 million from the Corporation for National Community Service to bring 52 full-time VISTA workers to eastern Kentucky to help with the SOAR program. And then Dr. Frieden, the head of the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta, is making a house call to eastern Kentucky the first week of August. I'll be spending 3 days with him, Governor. We're going to 4 different locations for hearings and seminars and listening posts for the head of the nation's disease control specialist to hear of our problems. And you know, we've got obesity, we've got elevated rates of heart disease and lung cancer and the like. And that's the reason I wanted Dr. Frieden to come and be with us and hear of that and propose perhaps some answers in the health arena. And then the Promise Zone designation from the federal government, along with the ARC and the USDA commitments to programs within the area. And as we stand here today, it's symbolic, I think, what we're doing, that, as the governor says, when you work together with people, you can make some good things happen. And that's what we're seeing. And we will be continuing this work. There are dozens of hearings, listening sessions going on all through eastern Kentucky in every aspect of life. And out of that will come some good, I hope, recommendations for SOAR to undertake action programs later on. I want to congratulate Senator Ray Jones and Representative Combs for their work in this announcement today. We're thrilled about it. We look forward to being there and seeing what takes place on the ground. But this is a wonderful announcement for SOAR, for eastern Kentucky, and for the people especially of Pike County. Thank you.
Next, I'm going to call on Deidre Lyons of Alltech to talk about their commitment to put some facilities at this new industrial site, as well as what is on this other rendering over here, which looks to me like a distillery that is going to go in downtown Pikeville. Deidre?
Well, I'm here today on behalf of peers to announce that Alltech is delighted to be the catalyst leader to bring some new economic development to eastern Kentucky. And it's our intention to expand our innovation in agriculture and nutrition, and to be the first occupant of the Marion Branch industrial site. Agriculture, aquaculture, and horticulture is our core business. And our goal at Alltech is, number one, to create jobs, feed the world naturally, be friendly to the environment, and also be sustainable. Alltech has typically taken the road less traveled. And in 1980, we started a biotech company in Jessamine County when there were no biotech companies in Kentucky. And now, 34 years later, we are approaching $1 billion in sales with offices in 128 countries, production in 22 countries, over 5 continents, employing 3,500 people. 600 of those jobs are actually in Kentucky today, from Fayette County, Jessamine County, Clark, and Washington, and soon to be, we hope, Pike County. It's time, Pierce and I, we decided we'd like to share some of this success. And to that end, thinking about where this would be, eastern Kentucky has always reminded us of Ireland, not just for its natural beauty or its rich history of music, but the struggle with creating jobs and keeping jobs. And Ireland's biggest export has always been her people. And I think eastern Kentucky is similar. Governor Patton, President Jim Hurley have come to our annual symposium, and listening to the talks and developing ideas, we created the Alltech Innovative Competition, which was a challenge for university students to come up with creative ideas for jobs in Eastern Kentucky. And from that, we developed what we're calling the Alltech Eastern Kentucky Alliance. And this alliance initially has 3 projects. And the first is the new distillery here, which we're calling Dueling Barrels Distillery, which is a takeoff, of course, of the Hatfields and the McCoys. And we hope to have a great visitor center which will attract agritourism to the area. And the other 2 initiatives are, as Governor has mentioned, aquaculture and layers. And in the aquaculture, we hope to produce annually 1.2 million pounds of live fish. This initiative will create about 45 jobs. The jobs will be as diverse from biologists to technicians to administrators. The layers job, we will have 3,000 hens producing eggs, all free range, all natural, and they will be fed products from our algae plant in Winchester, which will contain DHA, which we've now all know which is important to the development of the brain in preborns and newborns. And this has, through research, proven that children who have access to DHA before birth have a less likelihood of developing attention deficit disorder or learning disabilities. And the end result of that is more money, of course. The state doesn't have to pay for additional education or support education. So the overall project, we expect to spend 10 to 12 million on the distillery, 3 to 5 million on the egg production, and aquaculture 8 to 10 to begin with. So that's our announcement, and I'd like to thank the Governor and Congressman Rogers for all their support, as well as the City of Pikeville. Thank you.
Next, let me call upon Representative Leslie Combs. Representative Combs was essential to placing that $8 million in the transportation cabinet, or in the transportation road plan, in order for us to build the bridge that we're going to need to connect up the access road with US 23. Representative Combs.
Thank you, Governor. You don't know how proud I am to stand here amongst this group. Mrs. Lyons, always good women in the background, making things happen. So I'll share that with you. But I'm going to say one very quick thing. Like I said, I'm very proud to be a part of this. I think it's very, very exciting because it's an example of what we can do in Eastern Kentucky, what we will do in Eastern Kentucky. And let me just say, let's get to work.
And now the Mayor of Pikeville, Frank Justice.
First and foremost, on behalf of the City of Pikeville and its citizens, I want to sincerely thank Governor Beshear, Congressman Hal Rogers, Senator Ray Jones, Representative Leslie Combs, Secretary Mike Hancock, Dr. Pierce Lyons, Deidre Lyons, and the entire Alltech organization for the role in today's monumental announcement. I also want to thank and acknowledge the many wonderful leaders of our region who have volunteered their knowledge, resources, and time to make up the composite of the SOAR organization. Today's announcement is a huge example of the fruits of their hard labors. As a coal operator, I personally know the hardship created by the downward spiral of the coal industry. I've seen the pain on the faces of many families and friends who have lost their careers, along with the ability to support their families. We are losing some of the best people of Eastern Kentucky by having them to leave the areas to seek employment opportunities elsewhere. The mission of SOAR serves an important role to reverse this trend. This will be accomplished by leaders from all walks of life coming together, creating ideas and helping to find ways to diversify our economy, creating new jobs, and restoring hope to the great men and women who have been the casualties
of this war on coal. Today's announcement is a giant leap in creating such hope, and I applaud everyone involved. According to the state's website in 2010, the tourism's economic impact to our state was an estimated $11.3 billion. The City of Pikeville has recently invested heavily in tourism in an attempt to create a better quality of life for our citizens while also diversifying our economy, creating business opportunities and more service demands by those visiting our region. We decided to reach out to a well-known and greatly respected Kentucky-based company, Alltech. We already knew what the Bourbon Trail means to our state and tourism, so we realized what an Alltech distillery brewery could mean for tourism for our region. Meetings took place, visions were presented, investments and announcements were recently made by Alltech. Soon the first state-of-the-art distillery brewery, East 575, will begin construction in downtown Pikeville, with the intent of being part of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Over the past several months, under the SOAR banner, the City Commission has worked diligently with the Governor and the Congressman's office to create a plan for industrial growth in the hills of eastern Kentucky. With property, today's infrastructure investment, the insight study, and the knowledge, Alltech was looking to use their good name and business practices for additional investments in eastern Kentucky. The city approached Alltech with the idea of being the first tenant to locate at our industrial park. Now again, here we stand united with Alltech announcing their commitment of 2 new businesses, more importantly agreeing to be the catalyst leading the way for the city and Insight to continue our quest of recruiting many new businesses to this site upon the completion of the new bridge and road. With only 12 to 14% of the topography in eastern Kentucky flat and suitable for developing, creating large tracts of land is golden. The project has been 10 years in the making and is now a reality due to the commitment of those standing on stage today. This is a remarkable day not just for Pikeville, but for all of eastern Kentucky. The people of our region sincerely thank each of you for your continued support in today's investment announcement. Because of newfound friendship with Dr. and Ms. Lyons and because of Alltech's investment in eastern Kentucky, I would like to take time to present Ms. Lyons a key to our wonderful city as a token of our appreciation and symbolic gesture that our doors will always be open to them and they are no longer guests, but forever family. Ms. Lyons. Thank you. I'd also like to present a gift today to Governor Beshear, Congressman Rogers, and Ms. Lyons. These are framed prints of eastern Kentucky coal miners. Commissioner Barry Cheney, Commissioner Jimmy Carter, and City Manager Donovan Blackburn. Let me just take a minute to tell you about the artist. The prints were painted by an artist, Paula Smith, who is a local art teacher that teaches at Pikeville Independent School and the University of Pikeville. The unique thing about the paintings is that she uses various grades of ground-up coal mixed with water to create different variations of color that is used within her paintings. We felt this would be a fitting gift for today's occasion as a reminder of why and who this project and the mission of SOAR is most important to. Again, we thank each of your investment and commitment to the people in eastern Kentucky. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, any questions?
I was wondering, and this question might be best directed to Ms. Lyons, about the number of jobs that would be created in total. I know that you said 45 jobs for the aquaculture. Can you sort of expand on the other?
The distillery, just an example, our distillery, downtown Lexington Town Branch, employed 11 people until we became part of the Bourbon Trail, and now we have 51 people. So it's hard to say, but the ripple effect is great when you add a visitor center. And the hope is with both the layers and the aquaculture that they will become part of the agri-tourism. And I know Donovan's working very hard with tourism zip lines and horse trails. So we think that might become part of the same package. As regards jobs in the layers, probably 15 to start with. But Alltech never gets smaller. it only gets bigger. So.
Any others?
Yes, this is a congressman. It's a SOAR-related question. I know that the House has passed a temporary fix for the Highway Trust Fund. Can you sort of talk about how the trust fund's looming insolvency might impact the expansion of Mountain Parkway? Because I know that the vast majority of the funds for that are Highway Trust Fund dollars and federal money. Where is that project from?
Well, I think the governor's the one to answer that question. We did pass a Highway Trust Fund Survival Act till sometime next summer. But that money, of course, goes to the states to decide how to spend it, so the governor will answer.
The Mountain Parkway project will continue as originally passed by the legislature in our transportation budget, and at least at this point, it's not going to be affected adversely by any action or lack of action. I am very encouraged that the House has now passed a Highway Trust Fund bill, and I would urge their Senate colleagues to move rapidly also, because as you know, we've had to at least temporarily hold up about $185 million worth of projects that we wanted to let in July, but were concerned enough about the lack of funds coming forth from Washington that we held up on it. So hopefully we'll see action from the Senate so that we can move ahead in August.
So is the Highway Trust Fund, its solvency, would you say is very tantamount to whether or not the Mountain Parkway, like are they?
Well, I mean, if Congress took no action and the Highway Trust Fund went insolvent, road projects all over the country, including many of those in Kentucky, would be affected, obviously. The House has now acted, and hopefully the Senate is going to act, so we won't be facing that situation. But, beginning in August, the funds that were going to flow to the states are going to be cut back if action is not taken. So it's a very real issue for states. It's a very real issue for the people in the states, because not only are new projects affected, but existing maintenance is affected. And every time you ride down the road and jar your teeth out because you're hitting so many potholes, that's what maintenance is. We've got to keep our roads and our bridges up.
Are there any more questions on this announcement?
Okay, thank you all very much.